Girls of Reddit, what's the best pickup line someone used on you? One time while I was waiting tables, I passed a table with a teenager and his family. He tossed a packet of sugar onto the empty drink tray I was carrying and said, "Dropped your name tag." I giggled and blushed like a doofus and he got a lot of high fives. That's pretty damn good. God damn, this is a good one. Him, are you a model? Me. No. Him, oh, when did you quit? Made me laugh. Me, are you a model? Her, yes actually. Me, oh. Well, quit. I like that one. A guy who was handing out flyers for a cable company gave me a "We're doing a special at the moment for models like you" as I walked past in the mall, and it was so dorky and cute I still remember it years later. Cheesiness used just right. Orders 2 shots of tequila with lime and hands one to me saying, "This is my pickup line." It either works or you now have 2 shots of tequila with lime. Win-win. My personal favorite. Walks up, holds out hand, "Hi, would you mind holding this for me while I take a walk in the park?" But there is nothing in your hand. Not exactly a pickup line, and I don't know the best one, but probably the most memorable one though. But we were walking on the street and I spotted this really gorgeous guy and we had instant chemistry. We smiled at each other and dude started immediately crossing the street like an idiot, almost gets hit by a car. The first thing he says at me is, "Look at that, almost died." Worth it though. He was a really sweet and was visibly stunned of actually doing what he did, and that you could tell he didn't thought it through and didn't know what to do next. His awkwardness made it even more charming. Did anything come from it? Did you two start seeing each other? Still together? Remained friends? So the trick to get a girl is to almost die. HMM. Touched on the key to any successful pickup line: be hot. Don't be not hot. I was at the bar and a guy leaned into the counter, facing me, and said, "My friends want to know if you think I'm hot." I told him to tell his friends that yes, I do think you are hot. You could tell he didn't think that far ahead and he started walking away, but it was funny so I bought him a drink, smiley face. Tell your friends that yes, I do think you are hot. Less than stands in awkward silence greater than. Well, sorry. Never gotten this far before. This is where you say, "They also wanted me to tell you that I think you're hot too." I was the guy sitting at the bar, and this young lady leaned against my arm while she was trying to get the bartender's attention. While she was doing this, her breast was firmly planted against my arm. I turned to her and said, "I'll give you 20 minutes to stop doing that." Not a girl, but saw my friend be incredibly smooth. While sitting at a bar one night, he was showing me his new iPhone. I think it was iPhone 7, as there was enough new stuff that warranted him showing it off. Girl next to him asks if it's the new iPhone, he says yes. She asks for his favorite feature, and he says, "This," while handing her the phone. It was the new contact screen. She just smiled and put in her name and number. Anybody wanna see my fives? Goddamn, that's good. You have a bit of cute on your face. Apparently this was used by both my BF and one of his friends to his current GF. Both gents got the line from a single friend who is still single. Sue_. That friend didn't follow the first 2 rules. "Hey, you're beautiful. Can I tell you that again next Saturday over dinner?" Lol, may be cheesy but I guess it worked because we're married. Edit. They want a haiku. I suppose I should write one. But I'm so lazy. I like it, definitely plenty of good variations to use. Not a girl, but my buddy and I went to the bar and a good-looking girl was kinda popping her head up looking around for someone next to us and he said, "Hi, I'm right here." She went home with him. He just finessed her actual date in 1 sentence. Damn. Most upvoted comment is about finessing a date. GG. Hold up. What if she actually thought he was the one she was looking for? Like a blind date and the actual person never showed up. A friend of mine used this line once, and it worked fantastically. Then she asked him what he did for a living and he said, "Amateur gynecologist," and she no-ped out. Sitting in a cafe doing homework. I hear a guy go, "I'm not trying to weird, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of math you're doing, because I think you're doing it wrong." He was right and helped me out. Asked me out in a date afterwards and we're been together 7 years, married almost more than half of that. The only time in history the nerdy, well actually, has worked. At a nerd convention some guy asked if I wanted to see his giant robot. My brain didn't compute I was being hit on, I thought we were talking about anime so I responded, "I'm more into Titans." Daam. He probably felt the hardest curve of the century. I guarantee you that still haunts him when he tries to sleep at night. Can we have a moment of silence for our fallen brother? I don't understand how this is a pickup line. Was giant robot meant to be a euphemism? Best pickup line was actually accidental, but it made me laugh and we would up talking for a bit after. But this dude comes up to me in a bar and goes, "Hey. So, I'm a girl," then pauses, looks horrified and goes, "I meant you're a girl," then looks even more horrified and goes, "Fug, that isn't even good that way. So which one of you is a girl? Is he your density though?" I was walking out of a bookstore when a guy told me I had dropped something. I looked at the floor thinking I had dropped a receipt or something. The guy then replies, "My jaw." My dumbass didn't realize it until I got to the car. You went, "Oh, that makes sense, people occasionally drop the bottom half of their face." Guy, "Hey, you dropped something." Girl, "What?" Guy, "Your standards." My name's blank. Guy, "Hey, you dropped something." Girl, "Where?" Guy, "Goodbye." Confidence level 100. I don't like when people hit on me at work, but this one made me chuckle. I'm a baker and I was putting some hamburger buns on the shelf. A guy walked up behind me and said, "Hey, nice buns," simple, but I laughed. Edit, anyone else want to make the beaver joke? Original, y'all. Peter, "I'm holding melons." I once, with no ulterior motive whatsoever, said, "Nice rack," to a woman who was showing me around the overhaul of a data center. Reminds me of the till operator when a hurried woman ran up with a cart full of groceries and said, "Hey, can you check me out?" He looked her up and down and said, "Not bad." Not a girl, but one I have seen work or at the very least, get a laugh as. "Hi, do you see my friend over there?" "Yeah. Well, he was wondering if you think I'm cute." "Yeah. I could see how this would play out for me." Me, "Hi, do you see my friend over there?" Her, "Yeah." Me, "Well, he was wondering if you think I'm cute." Her, "Tell him that I do." Me, "Okay. Thanks, less than leaves greater than." Her. If I wasn't married I would use the shit out of this. The one that worked the best on me was a guy who had learned a memorization trick where you give them 30 words and they remember each one in order, and recite them back to you after an hour. It seems way more impressive when everyone is drunk though, and makes a great icebreaker for starting a conversation. It's smart because it means you will still be talking in an hour. A girl I worked with once got, "Would you like to make $1 million in 2 years?" How? Take out a life insurance policy and fug me to death. She didn't. That man must have had confidence out of this world. Heard you like bad girls, well I'm bad at everything, blinks instead of winking. Edit, I'm a dude, I didn't see the girls of Reddit part. I would be so sold. I am only here to learn new pickup lines I still use on my 3+ year girlfriend. Thanks girls. Edit. When I say 3+ year, I mean 3+ year long relationship. I would put a meme here with Jackie Chan's WTF face but not sure how. That seems rather young, but who am I to judge, so good luck anyway. Fork and knife, fork and knife, fork and knife, fork and knife. I've got all these forks and knives, all I need is a little spoon. Con, you've always got to carry around cutlery. Pro, you've always got cutlery. I was working at a sushi restaurant in a small Texas town. I was serving a group of 3, a couple and their friend. So at the end of the meal the lonely guy, one may call him a neckbeard or one of those nice guy types, asks if we'll open fortune cookies with them. In my head, I'm thinking I hope this gets me a decent tip. I open my cookie and it has some generic fortune. I ask him what his says. He replies without missing a beat, "My says the cute waitress will give me her number." I giggled and politely declined, saying I have a boyfriend. It was one of the smoothest pick lines I've ever seen used, but also from the least likely of people. I was at a skating rink and this girl fell right in front of me and said, "I think I've fallen for you." IDK if she saw an opportunity and took it or was serious, but I don't swing that way. Sorry. My friend did this and got the girl's number. Turns out she was an idiot because she didn't understand why he asked for her number and had a boyfriend. Hi, my name is John. If anyone is looking to make a mistake tonight, I wasn't, but damn, I thought that was funny. Hi, I'm John. In case anyone wants to lower their standards. Not a girl, but too good not to share. It was Halloween. I was part of a gaggle of geese, dressed in a very homemade goose costume. I was at a house party and the backyard was packed. I got separated from my gaggle. As I was looking around, the crowd split, as if Moses himself parted the seas. At the end of the open gap was standing a girl dressed as a bee. We made eye contact. A lonely bird, a lonely bee. I slowly made my way through the gap of people and got close enough to the bee that I could speak quietly in her ear. I said, "People sing songs about us." She laughed. We banged. The birds and the bees, together again. Edit. To all those asking, the story is quite true. The gaggle was the go-to Halloween costume for me and my friends for several years. We would carry around styrofoam eggs. That way, whenever we would get up in public, especially when offering a seat at a bar, we'd leave an egg behind and say shit like, "Oh my god." So embarrassing. This never happens, honestly. We would gift hotter girls our eggs, telling them that we had fun nesting our offspring but that it was their turn now. Our gaggle grew usually by one every year because everyone saw how fun it was. I was in New Orleans for Halloween one year visiting my brother, and we were out in the city and ran into a flock of chickens. We got in a bird dance-off in the middle of Bourbon Street. It was epic. Another year, we ended the Halloween festivities with a gaggle trip to a strip club. We got our feathers everywhere. We made it rain, but in art store feathers. Apparently, that currency is no good to the managers, but hilarious to the strippers. I ended up dating a smoking hot, fresh off the boat, 21-year-old Russian girl. I flew south on her several times. Also in New Orleans, I wore the costume for 4 nights and days straight. Honestly never changed, because the party never stopped in no. By day 3, I looked like a combination of a crippled NYC pigeon living in the Bronx and a date-raped big bird. Still fun. Whenever the gaggle split up at a bar or party, people would ask me, "What the fug are you? A bird?" And I'd say, "No, I'm a gaggle of geese." And they'd reply, "Where's your gaggle then, goose?" All I had to do was honk loudly towards the heavens, and the party or bar would be drowned out with the cacophonous sound of my honking fellows in the near and far distance, serving as proof that I was, indeed, a part of a gaggle. Birds of a feather and all. One year we even painted the tips of our fingers orange so we could make a beak with our hands. We'd often raise our hands to the sky and honk. Looked like a bunch of geese like periscopes creeping around a crowd. 10 out of 10 would recommend. This sounds like 100% malarkey, but I wanna believe it so bad. I was part of a gaggle of geese, dressed in a very homemade goose costume. I kind of want to get to know you better, because your parties sound way funner than mine. He walked up and showed me his phone, which was on the Google Translate page and showed, in Chinese, "Why is a beautiful girl like you eating alone?" I am Chinese, but was eating alone because I was video chatting my boyfriend. Edit, to clarify, I was video chatting in English, so the guy just took a gamble. Knowing Google Translate, the Chinese text probably read, "Why you to be eating the beautiful alone girl searing egg?" I used, "I wish I were a secant line so I could touch your curve twice," over a decade ago. She hit me immediately and then proceeded to ask me what it meant. We have been married about 9 years now and I still use corny pickup lines on her at every opportunity. I don't mean to go on a tangent, but that's a cute geometric pickup line. I can't cook a good lasagna, but I can cook a great lasagna. That got me. One time in college I invited a girl over to lasagna and chill and she came over and started to get flirty, but I legit needed extra hands in the kitchen to make this monster lasagna. That was the only meat she got that night. If you stack 2 lasagnas on top of each other, you only have 1 lasagna. Clearly lasagna pickup lines work on her because they're so cheesy. Guy, "Hey, do you want some good sex tonight?" Girl, "No." Guy, "You came to the right place then." Girl, "Yes." Guy, "Sorry to waste your time." This thread made me realize just how much confidence I don't have lol. You don't need confidence, you need courage, and the great thing about courage is that you don't need it for that long. 30 seconds. Confidence is doing something knowing you're good at it. Courage is doing something knowing you're scared, but doing it anyway. He said, "I wish you were my big toe so I could bang you on all of my furniture." Didn't work, but I got a good laugh out of it. This is definitely funny. Side note, I feel like dudes with any game whatsoever know that these sorts of pickup lines won't get them any further than a laugh. In my experience, women are immediately turned off if the first thing you bring up is sex. He walked up to me, asked if I'd like a kiss, then offered from a big bag of Hershey's Kisses. After that, he walked away. Had chocolate, had sex. To clarify, I've told this story before and had people confused about how sex happened if he walked away. I approached him soon afterwards. His opener was light and funny, and then he backed off and gave me space to respond on my own terms, which showed he wasn't pushy. He offered his chocolate to everyone, too. Not just girls. That really reflected well upon him. My stepdad taught me this one. He would always give me a giant Hershey kiss before I went on dates as a teenager. The move was to put it behind the passenger seat and at the end of the night ask, "Do you mind if I give you a kiss?" Then lean in and reach behind her seat and give her a massive Hershey kiss. For some reason, I got a real kiss every single time. The man is a genius. The old shotgun approach. My playlist is broken me, what? How? It doesn't list you as the hottest single smiling face with sunglasses. Cheesy, but I love stuff like that. That's because I'm not single. A friend of mine used the classic, "Excuse me miss, would you like to go halves on a bastard?" Strangely enough, it didn't work. Sounds like a perfect pickup line in the Game of Thrones world. One time in Vegas, I was at a pool party dancing with a group of girls, bachelorette party. I saw a guy watching me dance and eventually he made his way over to me. After talking to him for a couple of minutes and him asking to dance with me, I told him I was married. I told him I had a friend in my group that was single and I was about to point her out when he said, "You are the only person I've wanted to dance with since I saw you walk in. I'm sure your friend is lovely, but she won't be you." Damn MN. You left your husband, right? So when are we getting married? Guys, do not walk up to a girl and say this because it could actually work. My boyfriend approached me with this line when we met. Initially I rolled my eyes super hard, but now we've been together for 4 years and plan to get married next year. Do not walk up to a girl and say this. We've been together for 4 years. You just don't want us to be happy. Met a girl, and the first thing I said was, "Are you related to Dr. Seuss?" Because green eggs and, damn. Been together for a few months now, so I guess it worked. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, you wish. LMAOO, hey, she must be thought you were super cute cause that doesn't even make sense. Furiously scribbling down notes. I can't see this one not working. I know that the whole, "there are no women on Reddit" thing is a joke, but these answers aren't helping that myth. Not a girl but. Much edit, I am not so sure anymore. Had a paraplegic guy roll up to me and tell me I'm 6 feet 4 inches laying down. I was incredibly charmed. It wasn't use on me, but I overheard a conversation between this guy with a heavy French accent and some girl in front of me in an economics class. I wasn't really paying attention till I heard him say, "Let me take you out for ice cream, you look like you'd enjoy some French vanilla," and I almost died. She said no, and I later found out he wasn't even French, just very good at accents. Edit, autocorrect. Damn girl. You shit with that ass? Wanna go out for coffee? I legit asked a girl this once and she accused me of asking her for sex. I had no idea what led to that. I'm guessing she's had some interesting coffee dates. My first kiss was with my best friend at the time in middle school. He bet me a quarter that he could kiss me without touching my lips. I thought he was just going to kiss my cheek or hand or something and say I owed him a quarter, but he really kissed me, pulled a quarter out of his pocket, pressed it in my hand and said, "Worth it." That's pretty smooth for middle school. I'm 42 and impressed. Men are trash, so help the environment and pick me up? My boyfriend now, on our first date, stared at the ground and out of the blue really shyly said, "Wow, you're really really pretty." That fact that he had worked himself up to say it and then wouldn't look at me and said it shyly for some reason made it more genuine. It was simple but I loved it. I was handling the paperwork and tax explanations for a company that was switching all of their salespeople to W-2. I got a text from one of the salesmen that said, "Are you my last 1099 check? Because I want 100% of you." It didn't work in the slightest, but it did make me laugh. In order for any of these lines to work, first you must implement rules 1 and 2. 1. Be attractive. 2. Don't be unattractive. My husband actually got me with my favorite one. It's a bit weird, but it worked. He sat down next to me and said, "Fat penguin." So I was like, "What?" So he goes, "Well, it breaks the ice, doesn't it? My name is Steve, and yours must be beautiful." He bought me a drink and we've been together 5 years. I was a security guard for Seahawks games, and we had to wear yellow jackets, black caps, and black slacks. At the end of the game, we were going through and clearing out all the drunk people, and this one guy, the first was helping to the door, looked at me up and down and said, "You look like a cab driver, you should take me home," and then winked at me. Told him it was a great line and to use it on someone else. I have a position available on my staff. I put on my robes and wizard hat. Get in the van. Not a girl but a good one that has worked many times. Just walk up to one of the hottest girls at the bar, chit-chat for a minute or two, and then ask her, "So are you gonna buy me a drink or just flirt to me all night?" Usually these are the kind of girls that get asked if they want a drink. When I've used this, the girl will get all excited and takes out her card to pay all happily. Doesn't work in a crowded or loud bar or if she is with many friends. Edit, this works best if you are confident that she will turn you down because of how good looking she is. You are approaching one of the hottest girls at the bar, so have a laid-back mood and expect her to say no, but surprisingly it works more often than not. Not exactly a pickup line, but the first time I talked to my husband, he asked me if I wanted to see a picture of his baby girl. He was 19 at the time, so I was thinking, oh wow, he's young to have a baby girl. But I said, sure, okay. It was a puppy. I don't know if it was the fact that he referred to his puppy as his baby girl or what, but it was instant attraction. Using a puppy is cheating. We just ordered another pitcher of beer. I could grab you a glass if you want. I used to work in a bar, so I witnessed a lot of pickups and attempted pickups. This one was directed at me. I'd finished my shift, and I married him, so I'd call it reasonably successful. When I was on Tinder, my default pick was from Halloween the previous year when I dressed up as Ensign Crusher from Star Trek, TNG. I matched with a cute guy, and he messaged me first. Permission to come aboard? That was 3.5 years ago, and we now have a dog together. Hi, I'm Date Mike, nice to meet me. How do you like your eggs in the morning? Hey baby, I heard you like studs. I got the STD, all I need is you. And that's how my parents got together. Hey, is your dad a baker? Because you have some really nice donuts and, you're really cute. I was the new girl at work and it was a slow day, so I decided to get to know my coworkers better. Me, so what do you do for fun? Coworker, why don't you come over and find out? We've been dating for almost 6 years now. No one's ever hit on me. Are you from the Netherlands? Because Amsterdam. Was hanging out with some friends who had an Australian friend staying with them for the week. He got me alone and asked me if my eyelashes were real. I said yes, and he said no way, close your eyes so I can see them. I complied and he kissed me. Him, do you know the difference between me and my couch? Me, what, him, I don't pull out. I don't feel like this is a pickup line, but a dude legit approached me with this. Face with tears of joy, see no evil monkey. This should really be asked as, what line made you interested in a guy you might not otherwise be interested in? Otherwise you're just getting random things that a very attractive guy said once.